Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. We're in the middle of our 7 minutes in heaven or 14 minutes in fantasy death game. I don't know how... I mean, I can see how death could possibly happen, but only if someone was malicious enough to want it. This game would be an absolute nightmare if someone like Teresa was here. But with the people we got here, probably pretty safe. Except maybe Lilith. Anyway. Bell swung, the closet doors open. Oh, they aren't making out. What a waste. You really think we do that, huh? I mean, the option is there. You're locked in a closet for 14 minutes. The atmosphere is just right. Why not give it a go? I'm with Bell on this one, Devon. I'm definitely very kissable. Never said you weren't. Alright, we get it. Can you step out of there so we can get to the next round? Someone's envious, aren't they? No, I'm just trying to keep the game moving. The real question is, who is he more envious of, me or Maria? I'm not envious. We laughed and stepped out of the closet and moved back to our beds. Have fun in there talking about embarrassing stories? Funnily enough, it feels like we got a bit closer. Hey, did you know that Devon pushed a younger brother into... Don't tell everyone. You can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? It just makes me all the more endearing. Sure, endearing. Like a cat that sits on your face when you're trying to sleep. Yeah, people love that kind of mischievous behaviour. If only you were a mischievous cat. Well, what about you two? You talk about anything fun while we were gone? You think that we swapped embarrassing stories just like you two? I mean, hopefully. Sounds like it would have been fun. Sorry, but no, Lilith's not really all that keen about talking about her embarrassing past. And of course, I wasn't going to do it if she wasn't going to. So you both just sat around awkwardly waiting for us to come back? No, we just talked about other stuff. Like? We're not going to discuss that. Well, that's just teasing. If you want to know, why not write down a task asking us to talk about it? And that is our segue into our next task writing segment. Everyone, let's keep the tasks coming. Alright. Everyone wrote down their new tasks and handed them to Belle. Since my last one didn't get picked, I simply wrote what I did last time. Alright, that's all of them. So Lilith, why don't you spin the bottle this time around? Fine. Lilith grabbed the bottle and gave it a short spin. First it pointed toward Clyde. Oh, looks like you're going up again, Clyde. Why do you look so happy about that? No reason. Sure. Lilith spun the bottle a second time and ended up pointing toward herself. Oh, I guess it's my turn now. Done. I better not have put down some stupid near impossible task for us to do. Not impossible, but I'm trying to get a very specific outcome here. Really? And what outcome is that? A fun one. Wow, real descriptive there. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If it happens, it happens. I don't like the sound of that. Maria winked at Clyde and then turned to me. No worries. I got no bad intentions. Well, let's get into the closet. They entered the closet and Belle closed the closet door behind them. Alright, let's give them their task. Which is, do an impression of someone until the other person guesses correctly. Ugh, lame, so lame. But whatever floats your boat. Oh, that one's mine. Really? What? I guess it's just kind of childish. Hey, it's a harmless task. It's pretty easy to do. Oh, are you looking out for us? Well, who knows what Belle's punishment might be if we fail. Death, I would imagine. That's what it always is. So it's better to try something that's easy, isn't it? I wouldn't want someone to get hurt just because I was reckless, you know? That's so sweet of you, Devon. You really do care about us. I mean, shouldn't I? Well, you don't have to. I mean, you could just do whatever you think would net you a victory. Tons of people think that way, you know. Really? Is that really a surprise? Lots of people are eager to win no matter what. If that means knocking some people down, then they'll do it. I mean, you saw what happened in our last game, right? Yeah, I know. But that doesn't mean I have to end up doing that myself, right? Nope, you can play however you like. And frankly, it's better in my opinion to be a friendly face and be a cutthroat dick trying to win however they can. Nets you more friends, and better to have one friend than 4 enemies, right? Yeah. Though I'm sure that kind of thinking can also get you killed as well, right? Yeah, but in our case it doesn't have to. What about after this game? There's only going to be 8 of us. Right. Doesn't that bother you? I mean, I don't know what your relationship with Alphonse is, but I assume you two are close. Aren't you worried you might end up killing him? Yeah, we're pretty close, but we also know that the fact that we might have to. It's just the rules of this place. So you're really willing to just off him like that, huh? Hey, don't make it out like I'm some cold-blooded killer. Those are just the rules here. If it was any other way, I'd take it for sure. But that's just a sacrifice we're going to have to make to get our wish and retribution. A small amount of suffering compared to what we're going to achieve. You must have some serious rage piled up in your chest if you're willing to kill someone close to you just to get revenge. Hopefully I never have to go through something like that. Considering where I am though, it seems almost inevitable. You're looking at me funny. Am I? I'm just thinking to myself, that's all. You don't have to hide it. I know I seem a bit weird for being this driven for this revenge quest, but it's important to me. I don't doubt that. If it wasn't all that important, I think you'd be insane for coming here at all willingly. Exactly. Is it the same for Alphonse? Yeah, but for him it's a bit different. Different how? It's like, you know when you mess up and you want to take responsibility for something? It's like that. Is he responsible for your mother's death? Well, I mean, sort of, but not directly. Like, in a way, but it's not really his fault. It's like that story about the bull and the princess. The who and the what? You've never heard it? It's a story about how a king makes a princess get married to a prince. She doesn't want to do it, so she runs out of her castle. Then she ends up getting killed by a bull or something like that. It's a thought experiment on who's the most responsible for the princess's death. The bull, the princess, the prince, or the king. I mean, it's the bull, right? It literally gored the princess or whatever. That's one interpretation of it. Some would say that it's the princess's fault for running away from home and getting in the bull's way. Isn't that just victim blaming? It's not like the princess knew that she was going to run into an angry bull or had intentions on dying. Right, but if she never ran, nothing bad would have happened. Sure, but you could say that about any of the people involved here. If the prince wasn't there, then the king wouldn't have forced a marriage she didn't want. Or you could just blame the king for trying to force a marriage at all. Yeah, you could do all that. I mean, there's not really a right answer, it's just a thought experiment, isn't it? Maybe a lawyer could probably find a definitive answer. Sounds to me like it's just a blame game. Blame game? Blame game. You right there, Belle? Oh, I'm fine. Just think I had a flash of inspiration. It was an idea for later, but this certainly has solidified it. Yeah, that's good for you. Don't worry, I'm not going to change anything here. But I'll definitely use this in the future. Anyway, looks like we're just about out of time. Belle walked over toward the closet and swung the doors open. Time's up, you two. Finally, I'm getting tired of this closet. You think I enjoyed your crappy impressions? My impressions were not crappy, they were nuanced. Keep telling yourself that. I take it you two had a lot of fun in there. Are your ears full of wax? We didn't have any fun whatsoever. Now I want to see how good Clyde is at impersonating people. Good enough to get Lilith to guess. After 10 tries. It wasn't that many. Yes it was, I was counting. I'd suggest staying out of the voice acting business. But that's... Clyde's shoulders drooped as he walked back over to his bed. Was it really that bad? Don't worry, Clyde. Probably wasn't the worst thing in the world. Just mildly bad. You really know how to cheer a guy up, Devon. You just need a little practice, that's all. If you four are done playing around, we got one last round to go. So put in a new set of tasks. Right. I didn't really have many ideas for another task, so I just wrote down one of the other ideas I had before. So who hasn't had a turn yet? I haven't given the bottle a spin yet. Well then give it a go, Devon. I reached for the bottle and gave it a quick spin, and it landed on me. Talk about luck, getting to pick yourself. Not sure if you call it luck, really. No, don't be shy, give it a second spin. Right. One more spin and this time it landed on Clyde. Again? This is like the third time it's landed on me. It's just the way the dice falls. Well, the bottle spins. If you want to get mad at anyone, get mad at Devon. Come on, Clyde, don't kid yourself. You know you're happy with the result, right? Hey, I don't like what you're implying here. Alone with Devon in a dark closet where you can do all sorts of fun things? It's kind of romantic, isn't it? I'm not even going to give you a response. Come on. You're saying you don't want to do fun things in the closet? Like, look at Belle's wardrobe. There's probably something stupid in there. That's what you were talking about? Of course it was. What did you think it meant? Probably something kinky, I bet. I definitely was not. Hey, don't think I didn't hear that comment, Devon. My wardrobe is full of nothing but the best attire reality can conjure. We'll be the judge of that. Well, you get in there, you two. Might as well admire what's in there while you do your task. Yeah, whatever. We both walked into the closet and watched as Belle closed the door, alone with Clyde in a dark closet. If for any other situation, I'd probably be over the moon, but well, there's not really a lot of romantic tension here, is there? And it's not likely to be appropriate anyway. Well, at least once this is all over, we'll be done with this game. And once we've got enough info that Kishi could probably tell us how to survive this place. Assuming that she's alive. Yeah, we just have to hold out that she didn't kick the bucket. Yeah, praying that she's alive. Otherwise, we'll have to ask someone else for help. Hopefully we won't have to rely on that. Your task is Hopefully something simple. Confess your true feelings to one another. What? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Confess our true feelings? Like what exactly? How should I know? There's a lot of feelings we could confess to each other, you know. Like how are we supposed to narrow it down? Ugh, this is what I get for having that stupid question. My guess is that Maria wrote this one. Yeah, it sure seems like the kind of thing she'd do. Well, I guess there's no helping it. I'll go first. Devon, we've known each other for a number of years now. Frankly, you met me at what I'd consider the lowest point of my life. Kicked out of college, depressed, no direction. Made me wonder why you kept bothering me whenever we worked. I didn't think I was anything special, you know? But you just kept at it, and you were always the highlight of my days. Even though I didn't really like my job that much, I was always happy just seeing you there. Your stupid jokes, your warm smile, your positive attitude just really gave me a second wind in my life. And you're someone that I don't think I could live without. You're more than a friend to me, which might sound weird, but I appreciate all the support you've given me in my life, and I only hope that I've been as much of a blessing in your life as you've been in mine. It shouldn't really have been a surprise. I always figured that Clyde appreciated me and liked me. After all, we've been friends for a while now, but hearing it out loud just felt different. Just a confirmation of all those things you've thought of. I felt my whole body get warm, and my heart beating faster. I tried to keep my smile in check, but I could feel it wobbling wider and wider. Of course that's not enough. You're really going to make me say it, huh? There's more? Deep breaths, Clyde. This is easy. Just say it. Just say it. So, for a while now I've had feelings for you. Wait, really? Really? He really likes me? Loves me even? I wanted to scream, but I just kept my eyes fixed on Clyde as he tucked his head down. I don't know when it happened. We were working together for a while now, and I mean, I always thought you looked nice, but it's more than just that. I just always felt comfortable around you. You're great at supporting people. You make me laugh, but more than anything, I feel like I can be open with you about anything. I guess that's what good friends are, but I just wanted something more. I just never really knew how to talk about it. I was afraid that if I made things awkward, I'd lose the only real friend I had. So I kept it all inside, never made a move, and I was happy to have you around. Even if it meant that we'd never be together, I was just happy to be together. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? Together without being together. I was just afraid of being alone again. So, yeah, that's it. So that's how you felt about me for a while then. Yeah. You know, now that I've said it, I'm not sure why I was so worried about it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You could just return the feelings or not, right? It's not like you were going to just cut me off from you forever or anything. He ran his hand through his hair and shook his head. Paranoia really screws with your head, doesn't it? Well, Clyde, I scooted closer to him. I'm really happy you think of me like that, you know? You are? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's flattering to know that someone thinks they love you, right? Yeah, especially when it's the person you love back. What? Why are you acting surprised? I didn't think you felt that way about me. I just figured that you thought of me as a friend. Well, for a while, yeah, but you're special to me too, you know. It's kind of funny, you talk about how I helped you out a bunch in your lowest point, but I feel like you did the same for me. Really? You're kind of like a rock, you know. You're reliable, steady, smart, maybe a bit rough around the edges. Really painted the whole rock picture, aren't you? Well, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. You help keep me grounded when my mind wants to float away. You make me feel seen. You make me feel important. Even if it's just small things like saying that you like my cooking or that I make you feel at ease. You just make me feel special to someone. And a lot of people don't make me feel that way. So I kind of feel the same way that you did. I mean, I still do. Funny how fate works, huh? Of all the places to learn we actually liked each other, like this, why'd it have to be here? Why couldn't I have been braver and said this shit literally any other time, at any other place? Oh, better late than never, right? I nuzzled up against Clyde and rested my head on his shoulder. We get a few minutes apiece here, don't we? Might as well make use of it. Yeah, I guess so. I felt his hand wrap around my shoulder as he pulled me in closer. I feel safe when I'm in your arms. Really, they aren't particularly big or strong. No, but they're yours. And I know that you tried to do whatever you could to keep me safe, if you could help it, right? More often than not, I'd hope. What about you? Would you do everything you could to keep me safe? Of course, you're my best friend after all. And if we make it through this somehow, well, we'll be something more than that. It'd certainly be a fun story to tell everyone else, how we survived a death game after being duped by some weird cult. Yeah, I guess so. Not to mention all the horrible games we've played. Considering how horrible these games are, it might be hard to remember them. Right. Probably not the best thing to remember. I'd rather remember the good times. Like when you first invited me out to drink. I think I refused. But you kept doing it over and over again. Until we went to this kind of chill sports bar. You remember that? Of course I do. The Washington Commanders got throttled, like they always do. Well, more importantly, I just remember how happy you looked when I came along. You had this giddy smile on your face like you just got a puppy for Christmas. Come on, it didn't look like that. You did, it was a really cute smile. Clyde, you had the same smile when I got your tennis racket for your birthday. I know you don't really like your own birthday that much, but I remember that you like tennis. It was still cold as balls out, but we ended up going to an indoor gym and you floored me. Yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Then there was that time we watched a bunch of cooking shows together and you had me taste test a bunch of weird recipes, but none of them turned out bad, as much as I thought they would. And you just kept thinking about how you deserve to be on Top Chef. You remember all those little details, huh? Well, they're memorable to me. They were all fun memories with you. And you were smiling at each and every one of them, so it was really easy to recall them. I don't know why you're so worried that I wasn't going to like you back. You have a way with words when you know what you want to say. You think so? Yeah. Give yourself some credit. When you say things that make me feel special, it makes me want to do something special for you. Like this. I leaned forward and pressed my lips against his. For a moment, time stopped. I just wanted to be lost in this moment forever. To feel Clyde's lips against mine. That shiver of pleasure rippling up my spine as his hand reached around to pull me even closer. Tangling my fingers into his hair. If I could just be here, forever, that'd be fine. And time. What? What? Oh my, what a surprise. To think you two were pressing lips together. Hey, there's no way in hell that was 14 minutes. Oh, but it was. You were probably just too enamored with one another to feel the passage of time slipping. But hey, I won't stop you from continuing. You just have to do it out here. You gotta be kidding. I'm not kidding. Everyone's waiting out here. So come on out. No need to hide your affections for one another in the closet anymore. We slowly squeezed our way out of the closet, hiding our faces away from Maria and Lilith, as they no doubt were probably judging us. Well, you win, Maria. I didn't think they'd actually kiss right before the door opened, but somehow you called it. When it comes to matters of the heart, I'm an ace. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna explode from internal heat boiling up in my body and paint the walls of this room red. That'd be fine. That'd honestly be fine. Anything short of that wouldn't be good enough. Ugh. I want to die. Well, too bad. I can't have you dying on me now, especially since you four have cleared the game. Congratulations. I still want to die. Oh, come on. We'll keep it a secret from the others. We will? Lilith, don't tell me you were going to leak out that lovely moment between the two of them. I wasn't going to leak it, but I don't see what's the big deal of keeping it a secret either. It's not like they were boning each other. It was just a kiss. We're not teenagers. It ain't some kind of grade school gossip that's gonna set everything ablaze. Frankly, we've got more important things to think about. Right, but this is still a tender and sweet moment that they're gonna treasure. Really? I'll admit that they should be treasuring these moments because they probably don't have many of them left. Hey, just stating facts. Right, and speaking of facts, that's a fact that you four have won, so I won't keep you here any longer. And you shouldn't want to stay any longer than you have to either, because I got a game to run. So, Belle snapped her fingers and the closet doors swung open again. But the back part of the closet revealed a hidden path for us to walk toward. There you go, free to leave whenever you want. Until we see each other again. Toodles. She puffed away in a cloud of blue smoke, leaving us alone to leave at our own pace. Finally, I was getting tired of being in here. Lilith was the first to leave and seemed all too eager to leave this place behind. Well, I'll just leave you to a moment, but don't worry, my lips are sealed. I won't mention this to another soul. I'd hope so. Maria slipped out, leaving Clyde and me alone for a moment. Belle couldn't have picked a worse timing. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? I'm the one that kissed you. I don't know, maybe the reaction, like I should have just been elated, proud and happy that you kissed me, but when the closet door opened I was just shocked and surprised and I just got lost in the moment. Well, let me tell you a secret. I got on my toes to reach his ear. I was lost in the moment too. You really are too humble at times. Yeah, I feel like I've been told that before. I'm just happy that we're on the same page here. Yeah, but now I'm just worried about what happens next. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy and all, but surviving this should be our top priority, shouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. Which is why we should probably go on ahead and see if Kishi is alive so we can report to her. Yeah, I guess we should go. No point in fretting about what's up ahead. We just march forward with our heads held high. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of brave attitude we need to have going forward. Braver. I grabbed a hold of Clyde's hand and led him toward the exit. I wasn't sure how much time that we'd have to spend together like this, but I wanted to treasure every moment like this, like it might be our last. After all, one of them might be. By the way, I figured that Maria was probably the one who wrote that task. Probably because she knew about my feelings for you. What had she know? Well, when we got that task where we had to answer each and every question, she asked me how I felt about you, and when I confessed, she said she was going to do everything in her power to help us get together. She was really trying her hardest to try and put us in a scenario where we were going to confess our feelings to one another. And I guess that's better than what it could have been. What, do you think she was going to try and make us make out in the closet? I would not put it past her to try something like that, neither. And you can just imagine that if she did something like that, it could lead to some crazy situation. Well, yeah, you might end up making out with Maria or Lilith. Or maybe you would have. Maria wouldn't be half bad, honestly. Are you serious? What? She's hot, dude. But I didn't take you for the jealous type, Clyde. I'm not jealous, but we literally just met her today. Wouldn't it just be weird? Yeah, you got a good point. That should be weird, right? I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be making out with strangers, especially not in a closet. No, not that. I mean, now that I think about it, Maria doesn't really feel that much like a stranger to me. Huh? Are you saying that you know her or something? I don't know how to explain it. Not like I've known her, she just feels familiar. Or maybe it's more like I feel like I've known her. Well, do you know her? Maybe we met her before. I'm sure that I've never met Maria before today, but somehow it still feels like I know her. Is there some kind of paradox? Maybe my mind is just playing tricks on me. Maybe I'm just getting stressed, or Maria reminds me of someone. That might be more likely, though. What? Nothing. Now that you mention it, I felt that way about a few people here too. It's like sometimes I'm more comfortable, suspicious of some people even though I don't know anything about them. Maybe it's just something about this place. I guess so. I wonder if the others feel that way. Maybe. I guess you can ask them about it later. Yeah. We eventually walked toward the end of the hallway and approached the door leading to what we figured would be the next lounge. We didn't spot Maria or Lilith, so those two must have already entered inside. Here's hoping that Kishi was alive. We pushed open the door and... let's see who's here. We gave a quick scan of the lounge. Ah, you two made it back quickly. Too quickly. Figured they'd spend more time together than that. Or maybe Clyde's just a fast shooter. What the hell are you implying? That you don't last long and you get excited easily. I don't get so flustered. She's just being a dick. More importantly, I looked around to see who else was lounging around. There was Grant and Kishi sitting not too far from Lilith and Maria. Devon, Clyde, I see you made it safe and sound. Not that there was any doubt that you would. Really? Yeah, I mean, look around. There are already 4 people dead. By the time the second game was done, you 4 were guaranteed to survive. Hey, I didn't even think about that. Granted, that was one of the reasons why we chose to enter the last door. Better chances of survival. Turns out it worked that way. That would explain why the game we played didn't really have any serious stakes. It was pretty mild, all things considered. That was likely the reason why. I doubt that Belle would put you in any serious danger, or if she did, she'd be willing to fix you up. If too many people die, she can't run the game she wants to. Is she that much of a stickler to her own rules? She should be. I've never known Belle to break away from her own formula. Well, that works out for us then. More importantly, if 4 people have died, who's left? I can see you 2 survive, so that means there can only be 2 other people left, right? That's correct. I was the only survivor of my game. And you played with Philip, Elizabeth and William, right? Yes, it was a 3 versus 1 game. I was by myself, so when I won, those 3 perished. And in my game, there was only 1 loser, Everett. And you played with Teresa and Alphonse, right? So they must be alive right now? Exactly. Alphonse is in the kitchenette right now, and Teresa's in the bathroom. Huh, guess we lucked out. If things had gone differently, we might have ended up having to play a game where we would have had to kill one another. Sure, but it seems that things worked out for you this time. I suppose so. Anyway, I'm glad that you 2 survived. I see that Lilith also seems to be in good spirits. Good spirits is a subjective term, but it's more like she's just not paralyzed with shock anymore. Actually, now that I think about it, she's probably going to go ballistic when she sees Teresa. All we can do is hope that she doesn't do something that'll get her into trouble. If she wants to get revenge or whatever against Teresa, she could probably do it in the next game. That's what I was thinking, but you can never tell. Anyway, can I get a word with you 2? Guess she wants to talk about Maria now. We're free, so do you want to escape to a corner again? Yes, please. Hopefully this won't take long. Excuse us for a moment. Don't mind me. We walked over toward the corner of the room to keep away from the others. Not that I was really sure if this was information that needed to be kept a secret, but I didn't want to make Kishi upset. So did you find out anything from Maria? Yeah, I can confirm that she's here to kill Nigel Edwards. The hell is she thinking? She said so herself. It's probably because she believes that Nigel killed her mother, though I don't know why she thinks that. From what I remember, her mother died due to health problems, or at least that's what Everett told me. Well, obviously Maria thinks otherwise for one reason or another, and judging from your reaction you probably know why, don't you? Was she really murdered? That's not important. What do you mean it's not important? If she was actually murdered by Nigel, that would explain why Maria's hell-bent on getting revenge. I know that, but that's not really what's important to me. What I need to know is where she got that info from. Info? You mean that someone told her? As though she didn't know herself. Doesn't that imply that other people know and, in turn, it definitely happened? Or is someone feeding her false information to further their own goals? Look, I'm telling you the details of how Maria's mother died aren't all that important. She didn't end up telling you how she got that idea, did she? No, we didn't get the chance to confirm that. Kishi sighed and her shoulders sagged as she grumbled obscenities under her breath. Alright, well then, I'm just gonna have to dig a little deeper to figure this out. What about on your end? Did you get any info out of the others? You were in a game with Teresa, Everett and Alphonse. I figured you'd be able to determine what they'd each want. Well, they were all suspicious of me, so I didn't get through talking. Though Alphonse basically admitted the same thing that Maria did. All I really know is those two are gunning for Nigel's life. Though I guess there's still a chance that I can get something out of Teresa. Or maybe one of you will have better luck than me. You're kidding. You expect us to do more work? I want to help you, Kishi, but if we put our necks on the line again, chances are they'll be lopped off. I know, it's just... I can't really afford for things to spiral out of control here. I can't... What's it matter to you anyway? So many of us are going to end up dying here anyway. And only one person can make a wish, so who cares what they're going to wish for if they're going to likely end up dead? Well, I guess it doesn't make much sense if you don't know how this place works. We don't, which is the whole reason why we offered to help you in the first place. So we could wrap our heads around it. Kishi sighed and rubbed the back of her neck. Yeah, you're right. It isn't fair for me to withhold information from you at this point. Alright, I'll tell you. After that, you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to help me out. Finally. Well, what do you want to know first? How to survive this place, obviously. And I mean both of us, not just one of us. Right, well, that part's easy to explain. The fact of the matter is, everyone survives this place. What? I said what I meant. Everyone survives this place. It's just a matter of time. See, the way the game works is that everyone plays and eventually there's one winner. Once they win, then they've done everything they can, and the game loops over again. And then we get a new winner each time, or at least we hope to get a new winner each time. Once everyone wins, Belle lets us leave and we go home. Simple as that. Simple as that? I mean, sure, it's a simple explanation, but the implications were not simple at all. So you're telling me that we're just looping through these games over and over again? Essentially, yeah. And as a result, everyone gets a wish, which is why it's important for me to know what the others want. Eventually they'll get their wish, and if they use it for ill, then some really terrible shit could go down. Now you understand why I want to know what Maria, Alphonse, Teresa and Everett want, right? If I can sway them from making any bad decisions with their wishes, I can avoid the worst case scenario. I get that, but actually that kind of makes sense now that I think about it. It would explain why I have these weird feelings about other people. Weird feelings? Yeah, Devon and I were talking about it earlier, but we were feeling as though we know some of the people here. We don't know anyone here personally, but it's like... I took a moment to try and organise my thoughts. Like when I look at you, I feel like I've known you for a while and I get the sense that you're someone I can rely on. Someone that doesn't have any terrible intentions. But I don't know you. I mean, I know your band, I know your music, but I don't know you. I feel like I do. Like, it just feels natural in a way. Well, that's a pleasant surprise in a way. Similarly, I can remember sometimes feeling on guard and on edge around Everett, and I feel a kinship with Richard back when he was alive. But it just felt weird, like it went beyond first impressions. If we're looping through the game, then I guess it would make sense that we might have had some encounters that make us feel this way, right? But we can't remember them. You hit the nail on the head. Belle wipes our memories whenever a new loop starts, but you can still faintly recall things that happened in previous games. I think that sometimes you can just straight up remember entire loops if you get something that triggers a flashbulb memory. Is that why we're not freaking out over this right now? I mean, I feel like I should be freaking out. This seems like the thing that would blow your mind. Maybe it would if it was the first time you heard it. But if it was the 10th time around, maybe it's not surprising. How do you feel now, knowing all this stuff? How do I feel? Before all this, I had no damn clue as to what this game was about. But the minute Kishi explained it, everything just clicked into place like I was recalling a memory. As if my brain was telling me, of course, this is how it's always been. So there's no need to fear, no need to panic, no need to stress about the nature of the game anymore. At least, I wouldn't have to worry about meeting a horrific end anymore. You two look at peace. Well, I mean, there's a sort of peace in knowing that you're not actually going to die anymore. I'd say it's more of a relief than a sense of peace, though. I wonder, do you think we've already won then? I mean, I guess it's possible, but is there really a way to know for sure? There is. In the next lounge there will be a picture that shows everyone that's won the game so far. It'll be obvious when you see it. Hold on. Doesn't this mean that it's possible the other players have won already? Maria, Alphonse, Everett, Teresa? They could have all won and got their wish granted, in which case this could all end up being useless. That is possible, but that doesn't mean that I should just give up on it. I suppose you have a point. So will you help me out then? Just one more round is really all I need. I guess we don't really have a reason to say no. It's not like we lose or gain anything from helping you, and it sounds like if they each get their wish in the way that they want, then something bad's gonna happen? I imagine that killing the leader of a cult doesn't exactly lead to good outcomes. Sounds good. Power vacuums and all that. Good point, but that doesn't really involve us. It's not like we're gonna get into trouble for something that they did, right? I sure as hell hope not. You won't. It's not like it should end up like that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Actually, considering that they might be trying to kill off the leader of the cult, aren't they going to be in a world of shit when they come back? Oh yeah, that's a good point. There was a huge crowd back there when we arrived. If their leader died and they knew who did it, they'd probably get riled into some murderous frenzy and kill whoever was responsible, right? I'm glad you two have had a foresight to think that too. Chances are that's exactly what's going to happen if Alphonse and Maria get their way to kill Nigel. It's better for everyone if they fail in that regard, or at least change their mind. Although, I was just thinking, if that's really the case, then they're on a suicide mission here. Unless they had some way to keep themselves safe, even if they succeeded. Like a backup plan? No, a backup plan implies that they have some way to succeed with their goal if they failed here. Which I guess they could have. I was thinking more along the lines that they have some way to ensure they're in survival when they succeed. As in, it's part of their plan. Huh, I didn't really think of that. I suppose they could have something like that, but it's something I'll have to figure out, I guess. Well, what's your plan? Honestly, not much has changed. At this point, I'm going to try and sway Alphonse and Maria away from making these doomed wishes. If I can influence just one of them, that ought to be enough. So I'll try to join either one or both of them in the next round if possible. You can just talk to them now, you know. Why bother waiting until they get into an actual game? Yeah, I guess you're right. Better to be proactive about this. Either way, if you're going to try and deal with them, then I guess I can see if I can get any information out of Teresa. Are you sure that's a good idea? I get bad vibes from Teresa. Honestly, no. But it's the least I can do at this point, right? I might as well learn what I can from her and see if I can relay anything useful to Kishi, assuming that she'll be alive when I try to do it. Just be careful, okay? I don't want anything to do with Teresa. So if you're going to end up joining a group with her, then you'll be on your own. I'll be fine. What's the worst she could do to me? Judging by how Lilith ended up, she could fuck you really bad. All the more reason for us to be split up, right? She can't use us against one another. I wouldn't want you to get hurt by her, you know? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Cool. Sounds like you two have a plan. I guess we do, though we're not going to be just doing everything under your beck and call. We're going to try and survive ourselves. Totally fair. I wouldn't blame you. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can chat up Alphonse real quick. See if I can get through that stubborn mind of his. Thanks for everything, by the way. I really do appreciate you helping me out. It's no problem. We're just kind of happy to understand this place a little more. Kishi gave us a thumbs up and then walked over toward the kitchenette. And with that, we're going to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today. But in the next episode, I guess we're jumping into the second to last game, which will be interesting. This might be the earliest that the main characters have known what's going on. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.